Well, the lights come on, it must be 1 o'clock. I will call to order the August 29th meeting of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. Item 2 is items from the chairman, and I don't have anything today. Item 3 is the minutes from the July 18th meeting. Do we have any changes or corrections? Need a motion? Cast your vote.
Yes, me too. I'm so sorry.
And that passed. Item 4 is the consent docket. Item A, I just want to bring your attention to item A, is a resolution. We approved a revocable permit for the Riversport Foundation last month for their OKC triathlon. That got changed minimally before it went to council. It's already been approved by council, but we need to do an approval of the updated resolution. And of course, B is the River Corridor events update. Any questions on either one of those? Motion?
Hold on.
The gremlins in the computer. There we go. Cast your vote. And that passes. Item 5 is the primary agenda items. Item A is a river project summary. Got you back at work today, huh?
Yeah, somebody foolishly let Jess Shumway off on vacation. I don't know who that could have been. Good afternoon, Chairman and Trustees. Jim Llewellyn with the Public Works Department. We're continuing with ongoing maintenance on the 3 basins, working on technology upgrades, hydraulic improvements, and structural repairs. With all the rain, we have more sediment coming down the river. We're continuing to work with the Corps of Engineers to try to get our hydraulic dredging program established. And vegetation management and riverbank stabilization are also continuing. We have multiple projects coming up this fall. Some of the big ones are improving the anchoring for the debris collectors at Lightning Creek and Brock Creek. We're going to begin sediment removal with a contractor before long. We have structural repairs on the eastern dam that need to be performed. Regatta Landing, we're going to replace the stackstone walls with poured concrete walls along the riverbanks. And then we have the First Americans Museum Riverboat Landing that'll be coming up this fall when we lower the river. 2 repair projects that were completed in August were repairs to the boat lock drain gate cylinders, and then at Meridian Landing, we did some erosion control and vegetation management. Is there any questions?
Any questions? Need a motion to accept that? Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Cast your vote. And that passes. Item B is Oklahoma River Cruiser River Projects update.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Trustees. How are you? Well, I'll start off by saying some of our projects are with the work of Public Works. Jess has been a great asset to assist us in just keeping our landings in tip-top shape. So our first project started at Meridian, which Jim mentioned. We, a little more in depth there. We did parking lot restriping. We also sealed it. We're currently working with a contractor for an LED upgrade on the lighting, and then, of course, some bank stabilization that Public Works assisted with. We did also update the system map. If you've been out there, you'll remember it was a little sun bleached and burned up. And then we did repair some of the concrete, the flat work around the area. This project started on June 1st for us. Our Exchange Landing and Meridian Landing, this is a combination for this particular grant. Primarily, we're working to stabilize some of the bank. As you can see in some of the images, we had some erosion along the bank happening, some cracking behind the OU boathouse that we're having repaired. And that project it actually did start about the 9th of this month. They're still out there working on that and moving some dirt around for us. Again, these grants overlapped, so I have several of them where we've got Exchange and Meridian. That's just the way these particular grants worked out. But with the Exchange Landing, again, we are doing an upgrade with some of our LED lighting with this particular pot of money. And then in the Bricktown area, we have a fence that we'll be working to construct. If you'll think of the Bricktown Landing, it's got that opened area. This is more for safety reasons that we'll be constructing this fence. All right. Yes, sir. And Stockyards Landing. It's a little difficult to see, but you can see along the bank we had some of the some further erosion there. This project was started on the 9th. They have actually completed this at this time, so this project is completed. We will actually be still working with the lighting, LED lighting right there at the landing. They're working to get the contractor out there as soon as possible. Next slide. Our regatta. If you'll remember earlier in the year, we did have a project working out at Regatta. Well, there was a little extra money, and so we are going to move forward, straighten up all the signs. The one sign that wasn't repaired during the project, we're going to have that sign reworked and painted, and then we're going to go ahead and put some gutter guards over the gutters. This will just kind of help protect and maintain those gutters. And we anticipate that project rolling off in about the next 30 days. Last project is an update is on our FAM Landing. Just giving you a project schedule. We are, since I developed this program, we have a change. The lease amendment is not going to go to our board on the 1st. That will now actually happen in October. The preliminary report is still going to our board, and then we hope to have final plans and specs in November, and then put it out for bid and start construction in March of 2024. And we do estimate that this will be about an 8-month project. Do I have any questions?
Any questions? Your motion to accept that? Thank you.
Thank you.
Cast your votes. That passes. Item C is a presentation on the public art project near the Oklahoma River Greenway Trail, which we just cut the ribbon on.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Randy Marks, the Arts Liaison. The 1% for Art project for the Oklahoma River Greenway Trail will be created by well-known local sculptor Don Narcomi. Let's see, David, I need you to, thank you. The location is more or less across the river, of course, from First Americans Museum, a little bit to the west. And the work itself will consist of 3 different pieces that are variations on this theme. The top part will be sculpted from native decay-resistant hardwoods, and the base will be incised and stained concrete. There'll be 3 of these, 2 of them on the north side of the trail and 1 on the south side, in kind of a triangular arrangement so that as you walk or ride or run through, they'll be on either side of you as you view those works of art. The next slide will show some of the wood that Don is using. So this is bodark and native cedar. Both of these woods, even without being treated, can have lifespans of well over 100 years exposed to Oklahoma weather. So this is a piece that even if it didn't have proper maintenance and if it wasn't sealed, would last for a long, long time. Beautiful native woods that we have here in Oklahoma. The next scene, and this just shows one of the elements in process. And Don's process is to start off with chainsaw to carve, and then he goes successfully down to different materials till he ends up fine sanding everything and then a finish. Anyway, we anticipate the work to be completed and installed by February 15th of 2024. Are there any questions? Thank you very much.
Motion to accept that presentation. Thank you. Cast your vote. That passes. Item D is Oklahoma River Cruises marketing plan for fiscal year 23-24. You got somebody who's going to present that? Is there nobody here?
Is there someone scheduled to present today? No, they just asked if you're receipts, okay. All right.
So trustees, in your packet, there's a marketing plan that we can review together if you like. No one from River Cruises is here today to present on this. They just asked us to receive it. I don't know anything about this plan, so I'm not going to be any help.
Well, I know that we had a request for it last month. Didn't you ask?
Yes, I had to ask last month, I believe. Was it last month or I can't remember.
Whenever. We had a request that we had been given the money, but we didn't have an idea what it was going for.
Right,
Kind of like
right.
an idea what the marketing plan was.
Yes.
I kind of thought somebody was going to talk about this.
It's just a little hard to read this, the numbers. I'm not really sure what this represents. If you go to the first slide, David. Oh, is there not a slide?
Chairman Mars,
Do you think we could
can we defer
I
it?
think we
defer
should
this
try
to our
to
next
defer.
meeting?
Okay. So this one right here, it's a little, I'm not really sure what we're looking at. But do we have this in like a
Can you talk about the marketing plan at all?
yeah.
Would you like a handout?
Or do we
of
need
the
to get,
company plan?
delay this and get somebody next
If you'll leave
month?
the slides up here. Michael Scroggins' marketing team put together, upon your request, something more in-depth and more informative. As you can see, according to the slides, can you scroll down? I can't see.
Scroll
It's
down.
been a minute since I looked at this, so.
I guess I was just curious to see what we're looking at in this graph. It looks like, and I'm wearing my glasses, so I'm thinking this is as much as I can see. Female and male. I think these are statistics of who. Oh yeah, it says right here, demographics.
It is for the demographics of male and female
Targeted
targeting, correct?
audiences and then these are. So is this like a projected, or is this like what we already?
This is data that we're actually presently tracking. So this is current data. So as we can see, as we do Instagram followers and posts, 69% are female, and the largest percent actually is the that age of 35 to 44.
Okay, so is any of the money that was meant for marketing, is it going towards paying any like boost ads, or like why I just
So,
tied the money to this graph?
so the money obviously is, even with some of our, like our Instagram posts, things of that nature, for us to get kind of elevated in there, there is a charge when they do those type of things. Then, of course, if we can go down to the next page, please. And then, of course, when we do like searches through Google, we do pay that fee so that we are at the top of the search item through the search bars. And then, of course, we do work with our partners, not only through, in fact, we actually did a media request with News 9 that was run today. I think there was a live at 9, and then there was going to be more at 4 o'clock today. So again, with this, you can see that the Google searches, there is a charge, and we've broke that down for you. And then through our social media, it looks like they've put together for that 7th month period of what we've actually spent on those type of that marketing there. And then, of course, with our display ads, these are just the impressions, and as you can see here, the campaign that displays generating name recognition is what we're hoping to encourage there. And then this is just a breakdown of what the Google searches, and then the estimated campaign impression, and then as you can see from social media to our display ads. We do have a small amount that we're leaving as a contingency fund, so as items would arise, we'd be able to address those as well. And then just kind of a breakdown of their calendar of how they address things from April throughout the season, from our Mother Days cruises that we're all aware of. Go ahead. And then, of course, our cocktail cruises that kick off and are very successful. As you can see, we offer 2 of those month of June, and then, of course, all the way through July for our entire season. And then, of course, the Haunt the River. They'll begin that marketing campaign probably here shortly, that they'll be encouraging people to come and ride the river cruises for the Haunt the Cruise. And then, of course, as we get into November and December, working with River Sport and their Holiday River Parade. I believe that is actually being moved from our normal time, but we will be participating in that as well. I do apologize to the young lady that was supposed to be here. I just received a text from her, and apparently she had a doctor's appointment and something came up. So I do apologize to the trustees and to Chairman.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
This is a report that we're receiving, and so they have the $20,000 in their budget right now, and this is what the $20,000 is being used for on the
What it's
media?
being used for, and again, there's a small contingency, so as other items arise, we'll be
Okay.
utilizing it for that.
Okay,
This will be a normal practice that we will be presenting to the board. So as this comes up every year, this item, we will be providing this for you.
very good, thank you.
Based on the interest that you see that's been generated, I think next year we need to, when they come forward with their request for the next amount of money for a yearly marketing plan, we need to have a presentation on how they plan to spend that money. Is that a fair request?
Absolutely, sounds great.
Okay. Did we answer your questions?
Yes, I'm
Enough.
sorry. I was just trying to tie the money to what was happening. But yes, thank you. That is very helpful. Appreciate it.
I think we've done that for so many years, we got a little complacent. We probably need to see how our money's being spent. Yeah. Okay, I need a motion to accept that. Cast your vote. Passes. Item E is the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority schedule of cash receipts for the period ending June 30. Any questions on this? Any motion? Cast your votes. That passes. Item F is correspondence from our CPA regarding the fiscal year audit, 22-23 audit. Received communication from them. I need a motion to accept that, please. Cast your votes. And that passes. Item G is a limited revocable rowing and paddle practice use permit for the River Sport Foundation for the Eastern Basin, October 1, 23 to September 30, 24. This is yearly that we pass this for their ability to use that Eastern Basin.
I do have a question, and I
Okay.
am completely in support of this permit that's been going on since 2014. My question is, it's just for me to understand. When the basins are emptied and there's no water in there, how do the rowing and paddle practices, or where do they happen when the river's been emptied?
Well, they do it elsewhere. They can't, of course, they can't do it in the Eastern Basin.
Right. But out of curiosity, where do they move to?
Well, I think I can guess, but I'll let Mike answer that. Mike, you understand the
Yes.
question? Where do they practice when the Eastern Basin's not available?
Well, we're working on that now. I mean, there's only so many options, but the western basin up where the exchange boat or the OU boathouse is, I mean, we're actually working on a plan because there's no storage there, so we're going to have to come up with a temporary storage solution, and then also Lake Overholser. So.
Okay. And then when the construction starts on the pedestrian bridge, and we have construction there in that basin along with the new landing, you will go to another,
Oh, no.
okay. So tell me
Thing
how,
we're going to be talking about. We have a lot planned next year, including the largest
Right.
U.S. rowing event in the history of the sport next summer. So we're going to have to figure out a solution to be able to work through that. So, yeah.
okay,
yeah.
just curious. I just
Yeah.
wanted to know how you
Yeah.
were
My
dealing
understanding
with
is the
this.
river will remain up during that construction period, and measures will be taken to allow continued access.
Okay.
what that means, we're not totally
With
sure
whatever
yet.
restrictions?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. That satisfies
It's
my
my
question.
understanding, and I'm going to put Dennis on the spot if he needs to come up and answer differently than what I'm saying, but it's my understanding the basin only needs to be down to work on the landing and to work on the piers for the bridge. The rest of the work can happen after water's back in it again. Would that be a fair statement, Dennis? I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but it seems like there's some people curious about this.
No, I haven't been put on the spot in about 5 years. The original plan was to lower the basin from the middle of November to the 1st of March. And that would allow the contractor for the embark landing and the bridge, whether it's two different contractors or one, to get the work done that needed to be done. Well, that plan has been altered due to Corps of Engineers requirements and the time that's going to take them to review and approve a permit. So more than likely, the work on the bridge and the landing is going to be done with water in the basin.
Okay.
And believe me, we're working with inquiring to contractors about what's the best way to do this, and our intent is to, and we've met with Mike, we've got another meeting with Mike in about 2 weeks to talk about the events that he mentioned and how we will have the contractor on notice to do what he needs to do to get out of Mike's way while those events are going on.
Okay, but there is still work to be done that will require draining the basin for a little while? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, the basin is going to be drained middle of November, and it was going to be done anyway, regardless of the projects on the Embark Landing and the bridge, because Public Works has got several items of work that need to be done. A lot of maintenance on the Eastern Dam, some work in Regatta Park, and a few other things. So, yeah, the river is going to come down for that work.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Sure.
Thank you.
And I love putting you on the spot, by the way.
You like that, didn't you?
That answer your questions, Kathy? Yes, it did. Okay, all right. Okay, have we voted on this yet? I need a motion on that, please. Cast your votes. And that passes. Where am I at here? Item H is a lease agreement with Steve Allen for hay cultivation on our property near Sooner Road between Northeast 23rd and Northeast 36th. This is a yearly contract, or not a yearly, but it's a contract we've done with him for a long time. Any questions on that? Need a motion to accept that, please? Or pass it? And that passes. Item I is a memorandum of understanding with Stockyard City Main Street for activation and programming for River Park, 800 South Avenue. This is something we've discussed off and on with the use of the park, and we took away the not took away, but the MOU expired with the horse group on the polo and so forth, and we've been trying to figure out some programming down there. And this is kind of the answer to that at this point in time. It's my understanding that the park will remain open for public use, but if you want to hold a permit, an event in that park, then you'll work through Stockyard City Main Street. And they'll, hopefully they can get some programming going down there that would be beneficial for the park and for the use of all that. So, do we have any questions on that?
Just for a little bit of clarification, this came to the Development and Water Use Committee back in February when Stockyards Main Street asked us if they could put events into River Park, and would they be able to get an agreement. So we've been working on this since February, and then the committee met again in April, at which time we rescinded the equestrian-only use of River Park, and then that was passed on May the 23rd by this trust. So you can see we've been working with Main Street since February, and Melinda has been working with them regularly. So this will be a partnership, this memorandum of understanding, where the Parks Department and Main Street will be putting on events. And the understanding is that other groups will be able to use the park when there is not an event. And if a permit is needed, they will go through Stockyards. I also understand that if there's just a bunch of kids or a small group that go out to use it, if it's just a practice or playing, they can do that as long as there is not an event going on at River Park. So I just wanted to clarify how this came about. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Need a motion to accept this, approve this MOU? And that passes. Item J is a resolution ratifying the actions of Chairman Mars. That sounds an ominous ring to it. I don't know why. I really didn't do anything that ominous, but anyway. I signed a letter going to the Department of Transportation in support of the grant that they're trying to get for the I-35 project over there. We've already done one of these some time ago, and this was another one. So this is a motion to ratify me signing that. And that passes. Thank you. Okay, item 6 is the claims docket. Any questions on the claims docket? Cast your vote. And that passes. Item 7 is comments by staff. Do you have the director's report for August?
Thank you, Chairman. The only thing I wanted to really point out is we have, of course, had the ribbon cutting for the Greenway River Trail on August 22nd. It was really well attended by a lot of cyclists that we were able to gather up together. Thank you, Mike, for your help on that. Just really celebrating the final connection, if you would, between Katy Trail and the Oklahoma River. It's really a significant 4.5-mile stretch of concrete, so we're really excited about that. But with all the work that Mike's doing down at the Boathouse District for the new pump track and trail, wayfinding and all these new and exciting investments there, it's going to be a really great addition to the loop. So we have four more miles to go to connect, Grand Boulevard Trail to Nichols Hills to get those trails all connected, and when that's done, we'll have a full 100-mile concrete loop around the city. It would be great. So we're making really good progress. So that's all I had, sir.
So I just want to say, on the item regarding Larry McAtee Park, thank you for putting that on an inspection rotation because
You're welcome.
it needed it
Yeah.
real bad.
Yes,
So I
it did.
appreciate that, and we want to honor his service to the community in a good way, so thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments on the director's report? Need a motion to accept that? And that passes. Any comments by trustees? Any citizens to be heard? Mike? You got an event going on right now, don't you?
Yes, Chairman Mars, I just wanted to make everyone aware, we have the National Swiftwater Rescue Conference going on at the river today, this week, and it's people from first responders from across the country are in, and they're just like they were last year, and it continues to grow, and there's a lot of education practice sessions, and they'll actually compete as well. So, of course, they love the venue and love Oklahoma City. So that's exciting to see. If you see all the rescue vehicles down there, that's what that's about. I thought I'd also mention that past weekend we had the national championship for flow boarding, which is surfing. And so we, again, had people from all over the country surfing at River Sport, and it was quite a sight. And they just raved about this. It was their favorite venue they've been to. So that was really great. And then I also just wanted to share, we were really excited about the River Bowl. So I don't know if you had happened to have heard the results of that, but probably the most incredible rowing event I've ever been in my 30 years of the sport. And to see something that truly was groundbreaking and historic. It was the largest African-American regatta in the history of the sport of rowing that happened here on our Oklahoma River. And just an incredible experience. And we have a great video that's on our YouTube page if you want to check that out. But it's going strong. It's going to be even bigger and better next year. And as a result, U.S. Rowing is sending their executive team to the regatta in October. We're going to recreate a little of that magic. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So thank you.
Very good. Any other citizens? We are adjourned.